Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 447. It's Friday, January 18, 2013, 11 p.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster. Plus we bring you the segment Wow, SCHATZ, Wow, where we find out something that may make you go Wow, SCHATZ, Wow.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And NASA's got that Curiosity rover on Mars. You can actually see the tracks from space now.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A camera on NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter shows the ground Curiosity has covered. And now we're all laughing at what we've discovered, that Mars is actually a planet that had water. But that's interesting. We've actually now left a mark on Mars. You can tell your daughter or your son, or if you have no offsprings, no one.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Meanwhile, Lance Armstrong hopes his lifetime ban for using performance-enhancing drugs will one day be lifted. God, that guy's dumb.
Mike's
You know, you've enraged
Daily
the world and all of its athletes
Podcast.
with what you've done and how you've lied.
Yeah!
And now you want a second chance? No. Take up another hobby. I hear breeding sea monkeys is fun. Oh, look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing?
And it's the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what.
What?
No, really, answer Benita's question. How y'all been doing? Because you haven't been around for a while.
Yeah, what's been going on, Mike Matthews? Well, I've had a issue with my foot, with my left toe. I've had like this nagging little pain in it. You know, as you know, I walk my dog, Basil the Boxer. There he is right there. Actually, he's not right there. He always runs away when I do the podcast. But you caught him for a second, so consider yourself lucky. Anyway, recently the pain has gotten worse, and it's actually caused my body to feel as if it's fighting off an infection. I feel really weak, and yesterday was really bad, so I was kind of knocked out. I couldn't do the podcast. Oh, Mike, that's terrible.
Yeah, we need you to do your podcast daily. That's why it is called Mike's Daily Podcast.
Disgruntled Fiddle Player, Benita, you're absolutely correct. I'm sorry I left you guys hanging.
It's okay, don't do it again.
All right, I will do it again sometime. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, have you gotten over all the stuff we said to you about soda and how it's terrible? And then you got taken away by the, what was it, the Secret Service?
Yeah, and then I was put in a commercial for some organization called the NRA.
Oh, yeah, the Secret Service protecting Obama's kids. That was in some commercial protesting Obama's stance on guns. Well, you've been getting around, Brewmaster.
Thanks.
Brewmaster, are you familiar with the singing artist Sting?
No.
He's a guy, he was in a band called The Police. Anyway, he did a song in the early 90s called All This Time. And I've been thinking a lot about that song. I heard it today, and the lyrics always make me tear up a little bit.
Oh, that's terrible. Maybe you should drink some of my root beer.
No, I think that'd make me cry even more. No, the lyrics have to do... Actually, he wrote the lyrics shortly after his father passed away, and it's kind of about growing up in England and having the priest come to your house when your father dies, and then it's kind of actually religious in a weird way, but it has a great snappy beat to it, and that's why it was kind of a pop hit in the early 90s. It's interesting. But seriously, have any of you guys heard the song?
Mike, no, I don't listen to Sting unless it's a song he does where he's singing with the lovely Taylor Swift.
I like Taylor Swift a lot. She's really cute. And isn't she dating the son of Michael J. Fox?
Oh, no, you shouldn't have said that. Look who just came in.
Marty, don't let your son date Taylor Swift. Okey doke.
Was that the name of a Elton John song? That was a neat little visit from the past. Or was it from the future? Look, if Taylor Swift dates Michael J. Fox's son, it could cause a terrible rift in the space-time continuum or something. Well put, Benita, and I'm pretty amazed with your nerd speak. Thanks!
Mike, she's been watching too much Doctor Who lately. She has a thing for David Tennant.
Oh, he was great. Too bad he isn't the Doctor anymore. It's that Matt Smith guy. He's pretty cute, too. We gotta go bow. We gotta go Alonzi. Yeah, he says that a lot. David Tennant says Alonzi a lot. Is that some British thing? That's like, we gotta go? We got to exit. I'm going to start using that. I'm going to incorporate that in my everyday vocab. Okay, Brewmaster?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I've got gout. Leave me alone. So if you have an opinion about the Mars rover or about the way that Lance Armstrong is a butt or about anything that pertains to the world that you'd like to comment about, you can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. You can also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. We have a special opening just for you. We also have the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Go there if you would like to find out where to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, YouTube. Also, in my 20s, I worked at KNJO in Thousand Oaks. It was a radio station that's no longer there, but it lives on the internet at knjoradio.com. Links to all of those things and where to find us on iTunes, where you can subscribe to the show. And if you do that, then more people find out about us. It's awesome. Links to all that at mikesdailypodcast.com. Check it out.
Wow, SCHATZ, wow.
So we moved into this house 3 years ago in Podcastro Valley, California. And the guy that used to live in this house, well, he was awesome. Unfortunately, he passed away. Not actually in the house, but he lived his entire life in this house. He bought the house in the 50s, lived in it till he passed away 3 years ago. Actually, more like 4 years ago. We moved in 3 years ago. Anyway, this guy was amazing. He did all kinds of stuff in the house that was brilliant that we kept when we moved in. We didn't touch it. We just painted the walls and took out the carpet because that was disgusting. And there was actually fantastic hardwood floor. What a treat. But we still get some of his mail. We've, told most of the people sending the mail that's it's only junk mail we're getting now. But we've alerted these companies sending the junk mail that this no longer person is here. But there is one thing we get that is so awesome, I don't ever want to quit getting it, and that is the Big Book of Movies. It's from this company called Critics' Choice Video, and they basically have videos, DVDs, of all these old-time movies, but like all these TV shows. Not just old TV shows, but fairly recent TV shows. And what really makes me go, wow, SCHATZ, wow, which is something that my mom says when I really say something to her that surprises her. She goes, wow, SCHATZ, wow. What really surprised me was how long certain TV shows stayed on the air. I had no idea. For example, the first page I turned to, Mission Impossible with Peter Graves. Of course, the show turned into a big movie franchise with Tom Cruise, which I still have only seen the first one. I need to get caught up. But apparently they did Mission Impossible from 1966 to 1973, doing 7 TV seasons. Then it came back in 1988 and was on for 2 seasons. I had no idea. MacGyver, it was on for 7 seasons. Did you know? 7 seasons. Alias was on for 5 seasons. Lois and Clark, the Dean Cain, Terry Hatcher show, that actually lasted 4 seasons. I'm not too surprised by that. The Incredible Hulk lasted 5 seasons from 1978 to 1982. And speaking of superheroes, Smallville. Okay, this one blows my mind. Smallville actually was on television from 2001 to 2011. 10 seasons. Did you ever even see any of the shows about the young Superman? And The Adventures of Superman, the original TV show with George Reeves, not to be confused with Christopher Reeves. Actually, they weren't related. That was on for 5 seasons. Actually, 6 seasons, from 1952 to 1958. The Dukes of Hazzard, 7 seasons. Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. That lasted 3 seasons. I'm surprised. For some reason, I thought that lasted longer, but that was from 1995 to 1997. Xena, now I thought this was on for a lot more seasons, but it actually was only on from 1995 to 1998 for 3 seasons. Tales of the Gold Monkey. Oh my gosh. 82. It lasted one season, and it featured Stephen Collins. It was like a ripoff of Indiana Jones, but it was actually Stephen Collins. He met his wife on that show, and the reason why I know that is because Stephen Collins told me. I was with singer-songwriter Irene Pena, who we've interviewed on Mike's Daily Podcast, and you can find on mikesdailypodcast.com/interviews, one of the interviews that we did on the show. She and I were actually, just before one of her gigs, we were on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and we ran into him, Stephen Collins, and he was so nice. And I mentioned Tales of the Gold Monkey, but he's well known for Seventh Heaven. But when I said Tales of the Gold Monkey, he goes, "Ah, that's where I met my wife." So anyway, that's my quick little story. See, this book brings me all kinds of happiness and warm memories. Stargate, that TV show, lasted 10 seasons from 1997 to 2007. Now, the big question is, am I going to buy any of the DVDs that I'm finding in this catalog, which they have for sale, all of them? And every single price, by the way, is like, was $29.95, now $23.96. And the answer is, heck no, I got Netflix. I'll watch all this stuff on Netflix. Well, actually, Netflix doesn't have all this stuff. As you know, if you've tried to find something on there, there's a lot of stuff missing. But whatever. Walking down memory lane, reading this is fantastic. Quantum Leap, 5 seasons, 1989 to 1993. Is that right? Yes, according to IMDb, that is correct. Okay. Well, as we go outside the last place on earth, we're bringing in Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. That was a little bit of wow, SCHATZ. Oh, Charmed. Really quick. 1998 to 2006, lasted 8 seasons. Shannon Doherty was on that show, whom I met once in Thousand Oaks at the Borderline Cantina country bar place. She wasn't very nice.
And here's today's podcast picture.
All that we're saying is give peace a chance. And there's a big peace sign behind me in today's podcast picture, which was taken on the roof of the Oakland Museum. They have these cool, large sculpture pieces. And it's a big yellow peace sign, and it overlooks the beautiful tidal pool, otherwise known as Lake Merritt, where I have walked Basil around that and have caused my toe damage. My doe damage? Why am I damaging does? Does are deers, and they're female deers.
Mark, and Ray is like something part of the sun.
And me is a name that I call myself.
Mark, this sounds like a Sting song.
No, it's not a Sting song. It's a Sound of Music song. Singing that song. Julie Andrews.
Now she was a woman.
That's why you love me, because I remind you of Julie Andrews.
Yeah, that's it.
Mark, we sure hope that your toe gets better.
Thank you. I'm hoping it does too, for Basil's sake. That poor guy needs me to walk him every day, and I need the exercise. I gotta keep up with my wife because she's doing the CrossFit and she's getting quite healthy. Actually, she's gotten quite healthy with the CrossFit because she's been doing it now for more than a year.
Is CrossFit that form of exercise where they strap you up to a bunch of electrical wires and they electrocute you?
No, that's not it.
Oh, well, what's the thing that I'm doing right now?
That thing's called Stupid. Join us tomorrow for the segment. What we're going to do? Oh, the bottom of the charts. Plus, we'll hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And maybe a damaged doe.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!